Hello, welcome to Hello High Five. With social distancing forcing us into this new way of working remotely, we're forced to communicate either through video chat or phone, or most common, email. Today, I wanted to talk about 5 email tips that I've learned over the years, and hopefully you'll walk away with something helpful. Number 1, subjects shouldn't say hey. This became such a bad habit of mine over the years. I would choose who I wanted the email to go to, and then I'd hit tab to bring me down to the subject line. I'd quick write hey, and then I'd tab again to bring me down to the body, and I would start writing. Well, suddenly I found myself with an inbox full of heys, and I'd have to always click through 2 or 3 emails before I'd find the thread that I was looking for. Practice and get in the habit of taking an extra 5 seconds and writing a descriptive subject before you begin your message. This is the same principle as keeping photos or files organized on your computer. It can seem like an annoying and pointless task for just such a quick note, but force yourself to do it. Even if not for yourself, for everyone else who forgets to clean out their inbox. Number 2, include your info in your signature. Now, this is a quick one, but there are many different apps that people use for getting their mail. Some like to be a little too user-friendly and don't always show a person's actual email address, but rather just their name. In my interactions with clients, I always include my website in the signature, along with my email and phone number, since those are the 2 ways I communicate the most. The other tool that I wanted to mention is one that I used back when I managed an international team called Text Expander. This is a great tool that you can use if you find yourself typing the same responses over and over again. So what it does is you have a preset canned response, and if you type a certain string of characters, it will just auto-populate that canned response. I could see if you have prospective parents that send you emails often and there's a form that everyone has to fill out, you could have a canned response ready to go and write FFORM form. You're never gonna write that accidentally, but if you write FFORM, then boink, it'll pop on that response and it'll save you a lot of time from having to copy and paste responses over. Number 3, use blind carbon copy when sending a mass email. This one I learned the hard way after I sent out a massive holiday greeting a few years back. I went down the list of everybody I had interacted with over the past year or so, and I threw all their emails in the main recipient section. I actually upset a lot of people. They wrote back and chewed me out for sending their email address to a couple hundred people. I will never forget how crappy I felt. I think just because I was trying to do something nice and then got such an unexpected backlash. When you send out an email to a large number of people, though I recommend you do this sparingly, please remember this simple tip. Send the email to yourself as the main person, and then everyone else's email, just put that in the blind carbon copy area. This way, everyone who receives it only will see you as the recipient and not everyone else. Number 4, emails are permanent. Now, I shouldn't have to say this, but I kind of do. Emails should be viewed as though they are permanent and public. Things can get heated when dealing with parents or coworkers, especially when communication isn't strong and expectations aren't met on either end. Save the heated discussions and arguments for a face-to-face or at least a phone call. You see it happen all the time in the news where a celebrity or a politician will have some stupid email from their past come back and haunt them. Just don't write down things that would get you in trouble or embarrass you if they went public. Now that's a little bit on a larger scale, big situation stuff, but even on a small level, criticism of a parent or a boss or coworker via email is always a risky move. All it takes is one person leaving a thread of past emails in their new message, and then you end up looking like a jerk and obviously not very professional. Again, I do have stories from the past that I could share, but I never wrote them down in an email, so you'll never know. Number 5, establish a definitive action. There should be no confusion about what should happen next when working on a project with you. Either establish what they need to give you or establish what you're going to get them. Or you put a hypothetical period at the end of this interaction. I have found such an increase in productivity and timeliness of project completion when I clearly communicate what I expect from the other person. Even if that expectation is just that we'll revisit the subject in a week, it still articulates a game plan. Taking it a little bit deeper, for years, my older brother traveled around the world as an assistant/manager for a very well-known public speaker. I remember him telling me about his 1-foot fence principle. He basically said that a lot of people would come up to him after an event and ask him to send them information so that they could set up a speaking engagement. Well, after a while, he would get burnt out from writing down contact info and sending out emails and then follow-up calls with no reply. He then started to leave the ball on their side of the court by ending the conversation with, Email me your details and I'll see if we can get it done. Or find out a date that's open and let me know. He created a little 1-foot fence that they would have to step over if this interaction was going to continue. Sometimes doing what we do, people will ask us to create things or work on projects on a whim. They get this amazing idea and say, oh, hey, can you work on this for me? Or would you ever want to try to pull this together? This is where you build that 1-foot fence. That said, it is just a 1-foot fence. It's not an 8-foot wall with barbed wire on top. You don't want to scare people away by being standoffish because that honestly won't last very long. Talk to me. What emailing tips have you learned over the years? Anything you've learned the hard way? I'd love for you to share your insights on the Hello High Five community page on Facebook. Until next time, I'm Adam Everett Miller with Hello High Five.